It sits something like that. So you've got 3 bolts at the top and 2 at the bottom. It sits like that, and that's the 3 bolts for this sprocket. Rubber seal going on in this water pump. So now we've got to undo 3 bolts at the top, 2 at the bottom. I'll start with the bottom because then if you do get a leak, then you don't get wet yourself. E10 socket. Now the water pump is not held on anything, literally just friction, a bit of rust. But before I do that, I'm gonna put something underneath to catch the antifreeze. Hi, welcome back to the channel, Sanu Motors. And yeah, so today we've got the Vauxhall Astra, Opel Astra if you want to call it, but it's a Ecotec petrol engine. I assume it's a 1.6 petrol, I'm not even sure to be honest. They look similar, 1.6, 1.8. But yeah, so we had a issue with the insufficient flow detected by in the coolant system. So we had a faulty coolant sensor, but also we've got a faulty water pump, and so obviously we're going to be replacing water pump. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So to do that, we'll have to jack the car up, axle stand on, all of that just to remove the engine mount, so I'll have better access to the belt and the water pump sprocket. We've got the 3 bolts on the water pump sprocket. They have to be removed before the belt comes off, otherwise it will be very difficult, because at the moment the belt is actually holding the pulley tight, so you can actually put some pressure on the bolts and they come undone. You take the bolt off, it'll just try to undo, then the water pump pulley will just spinning. So it makes life a bit easier to take them off first, or just slacken them off first, and you can take them off later. But once the sprocket is off, we can have an access to the water pump itself. We've got a new water pump here. It sits something like that. So you've got 3 bolts at the top and 2 at the bottom. It sits like that, and that's the 3 bolts for this sprocket. Rubber seal, no silicone. So I have to take the old pump off, clean the surface, and put new pump on, put the belt back on. Okay, that's what I'm going to do now. Then refill with the coolant afterwards. Okay, let's do this. Oh, now I can take the belt off. It's easier that way. Intentionally, you just need to literally push on it. And that's it, and the belt just slips off. So now, because the bolts are loose, you can just get them off. If the belt would be still on, then, I mean, if the belt is off and you try to crack them, they'll just be spinning. Just make yourself extra. As you can see, all the pink marks indicating there is a leakage going on this water pump. So now we've got to undo 3 bolts at the top, 2 at the bottom. I'll start with the bottom because then if you do get a leak, then you don't get wet yourself. E10 socket. Now the water pump is not held on anything, literally just friction, a bit of rust. But before I do that, I'm gonna put something underneath to catch the antifreeze. before I do that, I'm probably gonna release some pressure if there is any. Now we've got no pressure in the system, so we're gonna go spraying everywhere. Nice and clean. Let's see. We don't actually have to lose the whole coolant, just whatever comes out. Surfaces are clean. It doesn't matter if they're wet. They still need to be lubricated. Well, not lubricated, but make them slightly damp with coolant. The gasket itself, so it seals better. Don't use silicone, and then you will have no problems. Use silicone, the manufacturer will avoid the warranty if something goes wrong with your pump. So be warned. Let's see. Let's go. Tighten it by hand. Yeah, you need to tighten it to a specific torque that you can find on the Google or main dealer. Give a bit of a twirl, make sure it's not binding or anything, not making any funny noises, scraping or anything like that. If it doesn't, then that's all good. If it does, then there's something not right behind, like some bits of something. Pump could have been quite easily broken off and sitting there in the housing, jamming it all. And you can see where the water pump was leaking. All pink. So that water pump is no good. It's actually knocking as well. You can hear it. Yeah, you can feel it. So there's something in the bearing. Not right. So that pump is definitely not good. Now we can put the pulley back on. You can use a tad of Loctite on them bolts if you're not sure, because the original ones, you can see they had the Loctite on them as well. Don't overdo on the Loctite. A little drop and that will do. To tighten it, you can put the bolt in and a bar or ratchet, and then use the flat screwdriver, just wedge it in between two bolts to make a lever. Or not necessarily a screwdriver, you can use a pry bar or screwdriver, and then just hold it and tighten it. Or again, you can put the belt back on, so you've got more leverage, you know, the actual belt itself holding the belt, the sprocket still, and you can put a bit more torque to tighten them three bolts up. You don't want to leave them loose, because if you do, then it will just start rattling about, and then eventually it falls off if you leave it. So if you start up and you can hear clattering, it means that you probably haven't done up this sprocket, and it's just rattling away. And if you open the bonnet, you can see it's moving like that. So then you have to be tightened again if you still got bolts left, because they could fly off everywhere if you have got to do them up. So just things like that can quite easily be oversight if you do too many jobs, and then it's one of them things that it's only a job, and then you end up forgetting a few bits and pieces. So just need to be careful, that's all. Don't forget to do the bolts up. again. Put the belt back on. Push on it, and slip the belt on and let go. Make sure the belt actually sits properly in the groove. Here, 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 and there. So if it all sits squarely, the belt generally slips on very easily. If there's something slips off like a half foot, so normally it's a lot harder to put belt on. When you're putting it on, it feels like the belt is too short. It's like it's not on properly in one of the sprockets. One of the pulleys rather, but it slips on easily. Normally it means that it's on properly. And that's the water pump on, the belt is on. The rest of it, just literally put the engine mount back on, fill it up, bleed it, warm it to the temperature, you get rid of all the leaves. Tree somewhere. The engine is still jacked up. Now, release the jack. Place the engine mount back on. I can put the airbox back on as well. The airbox, you can see this little, like a pickup for the fresh air. You need to slide inside this bit. Out of the way, so you see it slides inside that hole, and you've got the obviously rubber bit up here, the mount just slips into there, and that's it. Oh, that's come out. Let's pop it back out, because that's slipped out. That needs to go in there as well. Now it's sitting perfect. Yeah, don't forget to plug that in. Air mass. Don't, engine management will come on. Now that's a little water drainer. That's from the dirtier air side, so it doesn't really matter too much of that one, but obviously if it's there, it needs to be plugged in. I've seen quite a few of them, they're missing already, which doesn't really affect the vehicle at all because it's obviously underneath the air filter. This part is important, that part is not so much. It's only just for the outside air. And now we can jack it up, take the axle stand out, and fill up the coolant system. Right, put the coolant in, but I found actually a bleed screws just there in this corner of the radiator. It was hiding behind this pipe, so there is actually a bleed screw on the radiator. It needs to be cracked open. And in theory, you should be able to see. You have to take it right out because there's actually a cut on the thread on this bleed screw. So in theory that should all just, you can see it's already coming through. Because we haven't drained the radiator, in theory it shouldn't have any air in the system, in the radiator. But still. And you're squeezing it, and you can see the air bubbles coming up. It's only a plastic nut with a rubber O-ring, so you need to be just literally nipped up slightly, not too tight. Do it too tight because it expands, so you imagine if you tighten it and it's got no room for expansion anymore. So we're just gonna break something. Okay. Squeeze it a few more times. Right, let's start it up. If you start it up, don't forget to open your window, because you don't want the car just lock itself randomly while nobody's in the car. Then you'll be stuck with the engine running. All of a sudden something start happening, like, you know, start overheating or something gone wrong, and you can't turn it off. So make sure the window is open when the car is running. Right, well, I've topped up the coolant again a bit because it was dropped down a bit. Once you squish the pipes, you can feel the coolant level does drop down, and so you top it up to the level and then run it until the heater start, you know, put it on hot inside the car. Turn it on and make sure the hot air is coming through, nice and hot. And then when it's nice and hot, close the cap and run it until the actually fan kicks in, and just touch the hoses, make sure they're all nice and hot. There are two heater hoses inside, radiator 2 hoses, but don't touch the belt if you don't want to lose your fingers. But when this hose gets hot, that means the thermostat open. That's your thermostat just there. Once that thermostat opens up, so that all the coolant is going to start circulating through the radiator, the same radiator will get hot, so you can check that, and then the fan will kick in. Make sure it's not overheating, and then and that's it. And that's how you change the water pump. Thank you for watching, and see you later. See you next time.